This is Jason with Chicago News. Today we're reviewing the 2016 Lancer SEL all-wheel drive. Mitsubishi broke enthusiast hearts when they got rid of the turbocharged Evolution version of this Lancer. But they kept this version, the normally aspirated in the 2-liter and the 2.4-liter, as an entry-level all-wheel drive vehicle, which is sorely missing in the market these days. You get your choice of two engines in the Lancer. You can start with a 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes about 148 horsepower. This 2.4-liter makes 168. It's rated at 23 city, 31 highway. Decent numbers. We've been getting a little bit worse in our loops, but it's kind of a basic engine in a basic car. When you're inside the Lancer, you feel like the interior is a bit dated. There's the 6-inch LCD that's been added to what feels like a much older interior. Some of the switches are a bit loose and clunky feeling. Just overall, you get the impression you're in an economy car, which you are. I just feel like other manufacturers right now are doing a better job of hiding that fact. As far as the exterior styling of this Lancer, it's getting a bit dated just like everything else, but we do like the aggressive lines. This body line down the center that raises up kind of gives it an aggressive stance. Although with these higher profile tires, it doesn't have the sporty look that you might have expected from it. One of the first things you notice driving this Lancer is the CVT, or continuously variable transmission. The way it's supposed to work is, instead of having different gear ratios and switching gears, it keeps the engine at peak efficiency at all times by varying the gear ratio. And on paper, it should be a much better solution for the transmission, but just like a rice cake on paper is a really healthy thing to eat, I don't really want to eat a rice cake, just like I don't want to drive a car with a CVT. The driving dynamics of this Lancer are a great jumping off point to talk about the difference between steering feel and handling, because this car has terrible steering feel, but actually pretty decent handling. And the main difference is the steering feel, right when you turn the wheel, it has a spongy feel to it. It doesn't communicate very well. But once you get into a corner and the car has taken a set, it's very stable and it feels very composed. So overall, hit or miss driving dynamics of this Lancer. Like we talked about, the Lancer is one of the few economy entry-level cars where you can get all-wheel drive. And if you live someplace slippery half the year like Chicago here, it could be a good choice for you. They give you a couple different driving modes. You can select 2-wheel drive only in the summer when you want to get better fuel mileage. 4-wheel drive auto is most of the time in 2-wheel drive mode unless it needs to call on the all-wheel drive. And it's also got a lock mode, which we're not really quite sure why they added that. You know, this car isn't more performance-based, and that's something that you'd expect from a more performance car. You can get a GT model of this with paddle shifters. Maybe that would be more fitting there, but couple different modes you can select from. As far as safety features go in this Lancer, you pretty much get airbags and seat belts. Not really many in the way of forward collision warning or any lane departure warning, blind spot monitor, nothing like that. So if you're looking for some of those safety features, you might need to look elsewhere. One old school way to check car quality, and we've all seen our dads do this, is to shut the door and listen to it. Sounds kind of cheap. So what do we think of this 2016 Lancer SEL? It's really great to have an entry-level all-wheel drive car at this price point, but some of the cheaper materials, the lack of safety features, really make you feel like you're driving an economy car. That, and we're really just missing the Lancer Evolution version.